Hello YouTube, CivilianSnowman here, and it's time for, at last, another DVD and Blu Ray update. It has been a long time, I think about 2 months since my last DVD update, and I've got quite a lot to show you. Now, before I do, it's going to look like I've spent a shitload of money recently, which I have to a certain extent, but a lot of these I went bargain hunting and managed to pick up what I consider some good deals. So I'll start with the DVDs, and these are the ones that I consider to be quite good deals. I went onto a site called CEX and bought a bunch of DVDs which cost about maybe 50p a pound, £1.50 each. They were an absolute bargain, so I managed to pick up quite a few. So first of all, there was David Lynch's Inland Empire, a film that is one of the only David Lynch films I haven't seen, and I picked it up because I've always wanted to see it, but I didn't want to spend £5 on it. So I picked it up from CX for about £1.50, and it's the 2-disc special edition starring Laura Dern. And I do like David Lynch, so I can't imagine I won't like that. And continuing with David Lynch, I also picked up Eraserhead of his, which this I watched and really liked. It's a very surreal kind of almost like a visual nightmare. It feels like somebody else's nightmare, and it doesn't have really a linear narrative, so to speak, but it's very much a metaphor. At least what I got from it was that it was a metaphor for David Lynch's fear of being a father. He seems to have his like paternal fears on screen, so I really enjoyed Eraserhead. Also picked up Stuart Gordon's Dagon, a film that I like. Stuart Gordon, I like Re-Animator, it's one of my favourite horror films. Dagon is a film that I saw hanging around Blockbusters when I was a little kid and decided that I would give it a chance, so I picked up Dagon. And also picked up Black Christmas, a film that was recommended to me and I actually watched with DVD Weasel here on YouTube. And he prefers this to John Carpenter's Halloween. Now, while I won't go that far, I think that Black Christmas is a very effective little slasher film. Quite frightening, actually. Speaking of frightening, I also picked up Marie Antoinette, the Sofia Coppola movie. Still haven't watched this, but I picked it up because I like Sofia Coppola. I watched The Virgin Suicides, really enjoyed it. I love Lost in Translation, so I picked that up as well. Also picked up Bride of Re-Animator. These are all from CEX. Bride of Re-Animator was like £1.50. I've never seen Bride of Re-Animator. I've only ever seen the first film by Stuart Gordon, which I love. So there's Bride of Re-Animator. And finally, the Takeshi Miike film, Sukiyaki, Western Django. Had to pick up, I believe, the Dutch release of this movie because it's out of print in England now. And yeah, it's kind of the off-the-wall Western by Takeshi Miike, who obviously did Ichi the Killer. And he has Quentin Tarantino in a cameo role. It's just off the wall, it's really peculiar, but I do recommend that. Then I also picked up a few other DVDs. Some of these were quite cheap bargain bin ones, some were new releases. The first of which is Beyond Re-Animator, the Brian Yuzna film, I believe. I've never seen this one either. Like I said, I've only ever seen the original Re-Animator, so I got Beyond. It's the new Arrow Films release, actually, so it's laden with special features, and you get like a booklet and poster and stuff inside, so that's cool. Picked up in a bargain bin for £2, Stand By Me, got it in my local supermarket. Stand By Me, absolutely loved it as a child. It's set in Oregon, where I was last year and where I'm going to visit again this year. I love Oregon, it's such a picturesque place. It's one of my favourite places, and this is one of my favourite films. I absolutely love Stand By Me. Obviously stars like River Phoenix and Corey Feldman, and you know, the 80s kind of brat pack. Brilliant, brilliant movie. Picked up Super Troopers, which we are reviewing on the Burns Redo channel that I set up. You'll see a link down there to that channel. We're all reviewing Super Troopers, so go check that out. Picked up, and this was £1 in my local supermarket, picked up Spirited Away, which is a film I saw quite a while ago, which I enjoyed but didn't rave over like everybody else seems to. But that was £1, so I thought, I can't afford not to buy that, so I picked up Spirited Away. Another £2 bargain bin film was Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. Never seen it, heard great things. Another pound movie from the supermarket was actually Sainsbury's, the supermarket I'm referring to. Steve Martin and Michael Caine in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Never watched this, but big Steve Martin fan, so I picked that up. Also picked up Stardust because it's the only Matthew Vaughn film I haven't seen. Watched this the other night, enjoyed it for the most part, thought it was a bit overlong, the story may be a bit overcooked, but it was fun. It was a fun adventure fantasy film, so I enjoyed that. And finally picked up the new film by Kim Ji-woon, which is a Korean director I really like. And his latest film is I Saw the Devil, which is a serial killer movie. You guys know, if you watch my channel, that I'm a big fan of serial killer films. I find them absolutely fascinating. This is a film basically about the husband of one of the victims goes out for revenge against the killer, but starts to, rather than just kill him, capture him, torture him, let him go, capture him, torture him, let him go. And it really kind of meditates on the nature of revenge and violence, and whether or not it's justified, or to what extent revenge and violence are justified. A fascinating film, some standout moments, visually stunning. There's a scene where the serial killer attacks two people in a car while it's moving, and the camera rotates 360 degrees inside the car. Absolutely amazing. I Saw the Devil, I cannot recommend highly enough. It's a brilliant, brilliant movie that meditates on the nature of violence. So there's, it's quite a deep, thought-provoking film as well, and it's relentlessly violent. It's very hard to watch. So check that out. That is a really good film. Also picked up Withnail I, film I've never seen, an English movie. Recommended to me by my friend Luke at work. He said it's absolutely amazing, so I picked that up because it was like, I think, $2.99, so there's that. Also picked up on my girlfriend Laura's recommendation, Lars and the Real Girl, starring Ryan Gosling. I'm a big Ryan Gosling fan because he, in Blue Valentine, I absolutely love that movie. Picked this up because apparently it's one of his best performances, where he falls in love with a sex doll, which sounds amazing if you ask me. And the final DVD set I got was one I picked up because it was value for money, in my opinion. It was £20, and that is the Film Noir collection, which includes, is it 9 films? It's a very nice set. I mean, look at this. Each film has their own individual case inside, so you can see what's in it. The Glass Key, Blue Dahlia, Outcast, Crossfire, Big Steel, Double Indemnity, which is the only one of these I'd seen before buying the box set, and The Killers. It's a great set and value for money, £20 for all those movies. Again, I love film noir, I really do love film noir, so I thought that was a steal at £20, so that's the Film Noir collection. Okay, so now it's time for the Blu-rays that I picked up. I'll start with the films that were released, considered to be the best films of last year. I really enjoyed all of these movies, so I'll just show them quickly because I think I actually reviewed each of them individually on my channel. So if you want to see my thoughts on these movies fleshed out, go back and watch my old movie reviews. So I got 127 Hours, True Grit, which I absolutely love. This film grows on me every time I watch it. I love that movie. Another movie that's growing on me rapidly is The Fighter, like the gritty family drama comedy that just so happens to be about boxing. It's directed by David O. Russell, who's one of Hollywood's infamous knobheads. But it is a really good film. I really enjoy The Fighter. And finally, Darren Aronofsky's Black Swan, considered one of the best films of last year. It's one of my personal favourites of last year. I absolutely love this movie about ballet and the performance of Swan Lake, where Natalie Portman's playing the Swan Queen, and the pressure of that role cracks her mentally, as you can see literally there. Brilliant movie. Love Darren Aronofsky. He can really do no wrong at the moment. It's a shame he's not doing the Wolverine anymore. But whatever he does next, I'm sure I'll like. I think he's doing Noah's Ark next. I think it's just called Noah. But yeah, Black Swan's amazing. Also picked up a couple of very recent releases. Got The Adjustment Bureau. This is the Steelbook, as you can see here. The Adjustment Bureau is one of my favourite films of this year so far. It's like a light-hearted rom-com that just so happens to be a sci-fi movie. As you can see here, there's like 3 discs in there, which is pretty nice. And underneath the discs you get, if I can just get the discs out, underneath the discs you get a really nice shot from the film of Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. And I think the strength of this movie actually comes from the 2 main actors, because they really are, their relationship is one of the most convincing on-screen relationships I've seen probably since Michel Gondry's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. You can literally count on one hand the amount of on-screen relationships in the last 10 years that are actually convincing, and theirs is one of them. So that's The Adjustment Bureau. Can't recommend this enough. It's a personal favourite film of mine from this year so far, along with Source Code and even The Green Hornet. But yeah, The Adjustment Bureau is excellent, and that leads me on to Drive Angry. This is a film I watched with fellow YouTube Invid Ninja when he was staying at my house. We both enjoyed it for what it is. It's just like a modern-day cheesy grindhouse movie, cage-sploitation as it's come to be known. Basically, Nicolas Cage playing a killer who escapes from hell to rescue his baby granddaughter who's going to be sacrificed by a satanic cult. It's got everything I like in it. It's got practical effects, it's got muscle cars, it's a road movie, it features the occult and Satan worship, which I find absolutely fascinating. And it's got that cheesy grindhouse edge. It was filmed in 3D, so you get stuff coming towards the screen, really cheesy. And it's not quite the sum of its parts, it's not quite the cheesy movie it should be. It takes itself a little too seriously at points, but I do really enjoy Drive Angry, so there that is. Also picked up some other movies on Blu Ray. None of these were particularly expensive. They were all in like deals on Amazon or in supermarkets and stuff like that. The first of which is Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove, one of the only Kubrick films I haven't seen, starring Peter Sellers. I've had this recommended to me by pretty much everybody who's ever lived, so I need to check that out. Also picked up a TV series which only features 3 episodes, but they are feature length, and that is Sherlock, the BBC's kind of new take on it from last year. It's a show I've always avoided because it's made by the same people as Doctor Who, and up until recently I fucking hated Doctor Who. Thought Doctor Who was shit. Somebody lent me at work, my friend Luke at work lent me Doctor Who Series 1, which I'm watching through. Reason being is, later on in the seasons, there's some episodes written by Neil Gaiman. I absolutely love Neil Gaiman, so I wanted to see if he's writing episodes of Doctor Who, there must be something to it, so I'm checking that out, and it actually prompted me to pick up Sherlock, because this was £6 on Blu Ray for Season 1, £6 on Amazon, so I picked that up. Also picked up a movie I haven't seen since I saw it in the cinema and tore it to shreds on YouTube, and that is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Now I know what you're wondering, and I've had comments on Facebook about this on my CivilianSnowman Facebook page, linked below. People asking, why am I supporting the movie by buying this? I bought this literally to critique it. I want to watch it again after seeing the third film and critique it, and it's one of those films I would enjoy watching again to pick it apart. So I picked up Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, also picked up Night of the Living Dead on Blu Ray, a very nice transfer surprisingly enough, worth the upgrade if you're wondering. Picked up Legion as well, about angels, starring Paul Bettany. It's basically an homage to several different films that are much better than this one, like Night of the Living Dead, the first Terminator movie. It emulates all these movies. It's not quite the sum of its parts again. It takes itself a bit too seriously, but it is enjoyable, and I really enjoy these kinds of stories about angels and demons and stuff like that, although I didn't like Angels and Demons. This is an enjoyable movie. It's also got Dennis Quaid in it, wielding a shotgun, shouting a lot. You know, it's exactly what you would expect. Angels with machine guns. Really enjoyed that movie. Picked up Red. This was £5, I believe, and it's a bit disappointing, not as action-packed as I would like, although the cast, especially Helen Mirren, are very charismatic, and I enjoyed it for that. I enjoyed it for watching, you know, our kind of older action stars getting back into the action, so that was an enjoyable film, not quite as good as I was expecting. And then also picked up an absolute classic on Blu Ray when it was released, and that's Oliver Stone's Platoon, one of my favourite war movies. Very good film, can't really say too much about it, but it's very autobiographical. Oliver Stone wrote this based on his own experiences in Vietnam, and I imagine most of the people watching this video will have already seen Platoon, but it is brilliant. I highly recommend Platoon. That leads me on to a set that I bought that I didn't even know was out, and I was in the supermarket on my lunch break and saw this and thought, I'm going to have to get that. And that is Apocalypse Now, the Blu-ray, and it's got both versions of the film, the original theatrical cut and the redo cut as well. Let's have a look. So you bring it out of this slipcase and you get this kind of digipack here with different characters' faces on it. It's Marlon Brando. It's 3 discs. It's a very nice set, this, and it is a fantastic film. You also get some postcards here. I'll show you these real quickly. I mean, anybody who's seen Apocalypse Now will know just how good this movie is. You also get a booklet featuring like the production history of the film and also like unseen photographs of them filming it, which is pretty cool. And another one actually goes into more detail of the production of the film, and you get like concept art and storyboards and stuff, and script pages with annotations by Francis Ford Coppola. That's the back. But yeah, look, so here's the slipcase, and there's the back of it. It's a fantastic set for a fantastic film, and I can't really recommend it enough. I do love Apocalypse Now. It is one of those movies that it's about 15 hours long, so if you're going to watch it, it's really a Sunday afternoon movie that you can sit down and watch. I shaved before I started watching this movie, and by the end of it I had a full-grown beard, so that's how long Apocalypse Now is. But it's good, it's really good, can't recommend that enough. Also picked up a couple of box sets. Now, I picked these up based on Sam Belucci Media Geek here on YouTube, did 2 very good, very in-depth reviews of these sets, and based on his videos I actually went out and picked them up. The first of which is the Superman collection, the Superman Anthology 1978 to 2006, featuring everything from Richard Donner's first theatrical cut of Superman to all the way through to Bryan Singer's Superman Returns. You've also got the Donner cut of Superman 2. You've got Superman 3 and 4 in here, which are crap. But Superman 1, 2 and Returns I really like. Returns I like less and less the more I watch it, but I still quite like it. It's okay. It's a really nice set, as you can see here. You get it. It looks like the inner digipack looks like the cape. You open it up and you've got like different pictures on all the discs of Christopher Reeve and then Brandon Routh at the end. Very good set, very good movies. Love Superman, but let's face it, who doesn't love Superman? I mean, come on. Last set I got is a set that I've been looking forward to for ages, and I'm actually going to have a day watching these movies back to back, which will be about 14 hours, and I'm going to blog my way through it as well for anybody who's interested. So if you follow me on Facebook, like I said, there's a link to my Facebook page down here, or Twitter. You'll see the blogs. And what I'm going to do is sit and watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the extended editions, back to back on Blu Ray. They come in this very nice gold set. If you're going to buy this, get it from Amazon. It's the cheapest on Amazon. It's $45. It goes all the way up to $65 in the shops. This is very kind of hardware in box as well. It looks flimsy, but it's not. You open it up, you get a map of Middle Earth and a picture of the cast. The actual films themselves come in these individual large Blu Ray cases. So you've got the Fellowship of the Ring. I think each one has 5 discs, because you have the film spread over 2 discs, and apparently they did that to preserve the picture quality. So you've got the film spread over 2 discs. You've got 2 discs of appendices, which DVDs, not Blu-ray, and then the individual films behind the scenes set. So that's what each film looks like on the inside. So you've got the Fellowship of the Ring. You've got the 2 Towers there. And my favourite of the bunch, The Return of the King. I really like these covers as well. I know that Sam thought they looked poorly photoshopped, but I quite like them. I think they're quite tasteful. On the back as well, you've got a list of the cast and crew and all the special features. Lord of the Rings, it's probably one of the only trilogies to come out since like the 80s. You know, you haven't had really modern day Star Wars, Back to the Future or Jurassic Park, things like that, but Lord of the Rings is the thing that comes closest. It is an amazing trilogy, and I can't wait to sit with a crate of beer and lots of like food and pizza and stuff and watch these films back to back over 14 hours. Like I say, I will be blogging about, I don't know when I'm going to do it yet. I'm actually off work this week, so it will be one day this week. But I'll be blogging about it on Twitter and Facebook when I do it. So I might even film a video for it as well. So definitely, Lord of the Rings, check this set out. It's really good, and go to Amazon for it because that's where it's cheapest. So thanks a lot for sticking through this video. It's been quite a long one. I've bought quite a lot, and it's been a while since my last one. I'm probably going to do DVD and Blu-ray updates probably every couple of months now, because I think it's more worthwhile doing that and doing big chunks at a time. But thank you for watching this video. Thanks to everybody who rates this video, comments, and especially subscribes. You're all brilliant. Thanks to everybody who's already done all those things. You make it worth doing videos here on YouTube. I really appreciate your support. So thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.